Right, good evening everyone. Welcome back to yet again another stream. Yes, I know it's still on Train Sim. I know it's slightly boring. Although no, I have actually fixed my mic issue now with Eurotruck and all that. So we'll be on Eurotruck next time round. Trains, good evening. How you doing? Yeah, we're on Train Sim tonight because honestly, why not? Train Sim's ruined my idea like multiple times, so now I've had to switch it up. I was going to be running Nunney Castle on a charter from Exeter to Paynton. It's not to Paynton, sorry, to Kingswear. But Train Sim just said no 3 times to the scenario, so we're running the 37, so we're running the next leg, because what else am I going to do? Nice refreshing drink. Let's get into the game. Oh, no, not that one. That one. In fact, no, before we get into it properly, welcome to some teasers of upcoming videos. 2 of them are out. That's the York one and the Pullman one. But no, there are 2 sneak peeks of upcoming videos. Cardiff one and one about Nunney Castle. Keep an eye out for those. Those will be edited eventually. Just, give me a chance. It's a mental week this week and next week, so whether that actually happens or not, then we'll find out. Anyways, welcome to today's stream. Staring at a fan. No, I'm just kidding. I've already put the AWS in, haven't I? Yeah. Cool. Loco Rose as well, good evening, how you doing? Oh, and just I swear to God, load up faster. Let me guess, this is 256, isn't it? 060. There we are. 1 Zulu 30. What 37s we're driving, Trains? It is 667 flop C and 521. Just move that over there so I don't knock that over. So you have flop C leading, which is quite nice. So 667. And then we have 521. XGRS, X Colas. It's quite nice. And somehow both of them had issues on Saturday. Flopsy had a, dare I say it, terminal failure. Because it arrived into Bridgewater. And, how do I say this? Coolant was flooding out the engine, the fire bell was going off, and it didn't look like it was cloud coming out the exhaust, so it might have been smoke. So, let's just say you might not see Flopsy for a while. I think it's buggered for now. Sophie, good evening, how you doing? Right, let's get this show on the road. Oh my God, I'm 3 minutes late. Well, hey. And again, I like driving a 37, so hopefully it doesn't blow up. Never doubt these pair of Type 3s. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, cheers Sophie. Finally going live. With, well, to be fair, a little bit of deference from the original idea. And I'm speeding. Actually, I think you can tell what I mean by we'll make that time up in no time. Because that was some launch. To be honest, I might blow Flopsy up fast and the drivers... Well, if I don't think it was the drivers that blew it up, I think it just spontaneously decided what's working. And basically blew up. Hey-ho. So this consist is as close I could get as there actually was. The only thing that's... Hang on a minute. Sorry about that. It's the only thing on this consist that isn't true to how it actually was this. The Mark IIs on either end had little balconies, and in fact you could see Jeremy Hosking, the chairman of LSL, sort of standing at it at each run. Apart from when it was pouring down with rain, but then again that's kind of expected. The only other thing that isn't right is this Mark 1 here. This is a first open, but in reality it was one of those like Pullman coaches. Not the Midlands Pullman, not the bright blue. I'm going to call it the Blueberry. Because why not? See, I want the Blueberry. It was like one of those coaches you see on the Belmond. That was on here, but that's not on this consist because I don't have that pack. So those are the only two things that aren't completely right. No, Jones, I'm not surprised. 60... Oh, 60s? Oh my god, my brain's not working. It's Tuesday, it's been a long day. 60s. They are quite, thrashing, claggy things. How late am I running now? That's fine. About once every 6 years, trains. We had one back in 21, I think. DCR loaded stone, which then failed. It was vaguely funny. I didn't go see that one. And the only other time was 029 for the gala. Funny, right? For a company that call themselves DC Rail, Devon and Cornwall Rail. yet they avoid Devon like it's a disease. And obviously if they don't come into Devon, they don't go into Cornwall, so hey ho. Thing is, they're based in Leicester, so I don't even know why, DCR still call themselves Devon and Cornwall Rail. Because in reality, not really. No DCR stock is based in Devon. So yeah, Jones, I think they're mostly like, I think occasionally Bristol, but mostly the north, yeah. Like Leicester, Woolston in places, but, not like proper western region or anything. Which is a shame, to be fair. Because at the moment, Devon's just stuck with DB. DB's boring. Well, I say that. If anyone watched the most recent video, they would have noticed there was actually an EWS shed on there for once. Makes a change. Yeah, that's fair enough, Trains. I went there, as obviously I'm from around the local area. I went there on the second day that it was open. It smells horrendous. Marsh Barton, it reminded me of the first time I went to Westbury. And that's saying something. That smelled disgusting. Sam, good evening, how you doing? And also, Max as well, good evening, how you doing? We've got most of the regulars in here now. The regular party. But who are we missing of the regulars? There's DJ Scania. You haven't seen him recently. I'm not sure. I think this is, yeah, like the regulars. Yeah, Train, so DB, so no, EWS is in the company, went defunct years ago. We're talking, what, late 2010s, so no, early 2010s, late 2000s. But, the whole concept of EWS, like the livery, still survives in two different guises. But yeah. So I don't think there's one. I think there might be about 5. I think there's just 5 just waiting to be repainted now. Which is a shame. It's quite a good livery. It's at least more interesting than the Red Death. Not intentionally, Max, no. If they fail, no, that was not intentional. Hey, watch it, Max. You know, I know I can't drive, but come on. I mean, I know I'm at the controls, but yeah, I suppose there's a fair point. I'm not exactly the most conservative driver, but you know, I don't tend to have things blow up unless it's a Super 47, in which case it definitely goes explosive. Well, at the moment, Sam, yeah, the stretch we're on is the Riviera line. But in terms of the route overall, it's Birkenance. Yeah, this stretch is the Riviera line, yeah. Riviera line to Newton, then Devon Banks to Plymouth. Cornish Main Line anywhere further. Well, all I can say is we're moving better than the private charter did in reality the day before this run, which was with Nunney Castle. Because, yeah, I've mentioned it on Sam's stream. Why? Like all the chaos. But yeah, to be fair, I didn't like the way, whatchamacallit, didn't like how the BTP were dealing with the situation initially, but that's that. As if this is just called the Great Western Main. Depends how you look at it, trains. On a wider scale, yeah, you could definitely say that. In terms of specifically, the GWML name was originally given to the original. What the hell did I just say? The name was originally given to London to Bristol, because that was, I think, the part that originally opened. So that's technically classed as the Great Western Main. But I suppose on a wider scale, yeah, I suppose it is all Great Western Main. I don't know. That's true, Samia. I think at some point, I think they wanted to go all the way along the wall with the defence, but I think that's been called off. But yeah, they've got the I should know what they're called because I learnt them in geography 9 billion decades ago. These things. I can't remember what their technical name is. I don't know. Don't really care. So yeah. Yeah, and also HSD's getting drenched. In reality, we don't really care about most of our units being drenched. When I say most, I mean 150s, 158s, turbos, HSTs. Typically, we don't really care if they get drenched because they can actually cope. IETs are just... yeah. IETs sipping coffee emoji. Just say that. The IETs, you know, just one drop of salt water and they just go. Yeah, they just give up. And to be fair, it's funny because I think after the Voyagers was such a resounding failure along the wall, and how apparently the Voyagers used to fail a lot. All trains had to be built to withstand the conditions of Dawlish. Introduce the IETs, the most incompetent trains ever put onto Devonshire metals. And yeah, that is actually quite true, Sam. Yeah, you can hydrolock an engine, I suppose. I think HSTs in their own way is a bit more resistant to, say, hydrolocking. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, hydrolocking is a good point. I completely forgot about hydrolocking. Yeah, IETs, or GWR IETs being the worst of the 8OXs. I will happily confirm that. They are crap. Hate them. Hate the IETs. Hate that to ride one the other day. Surprised my back survived. Well, Max, you say that, but in storms, there's not a lot that's going to save them, is there? Well, not in storms. In like general hot weather, you know, not going to be a lot that saves them. Because they'll overheat like the IETs. Although, to be fair, if the maintenance is carried out as it should, then it should be fine. Sorry about that. Well, actually, I think it's the maintenance. I think after the TFW ones just started, you know, setting themselves alight as they did, I also think due to the amount of build-up and things on the filters, so now it's gone from you clean the filters once every 5 days to once every 2 or 3, I think. Hopefully GWR will take that into account. So they're on about, yeah, I know they just stick stickers over corrosion, but they're usually quite on it. Yeah, Strange, you're not wrong. Yeah, pretty much the bottom of the seat is metal. And that's got the most padding out of everything. You know, the IETs are not good. But then again, nothing's going to be done about it, is it? They ain't being replaced anytime soon. 175's bonfires. Yeah. Oh, to be honest, I call their counterpart, the 180, the flying bonfires, because, you know, 125, same diesel mechanical system. But yeah. I don't see how Alstom got it so wrong. You know, the radius, because if you look at 150s, and for that matter, Westerns, they're hydraulics. So, yeah. In fact, no, 004 didn't catch like last year, did it? The yell time goes fast. I can still remember sort of reading that 004 had suffered in some capacity an engine fire. That was probably about 3 years ago now. That's true, trains, yeah. 185s as well. You know, 185 is a really decent DMU, so all round, love a 185. I got told they're like really loud, but even under York's roof, didn't sound too bad. To be fair, 185s in GWR could be interesting. Fair enough, Max. I'll probably chat to you in a bit. Have a good rest of your evening in the meantime. To be fair, trains, even though I've literally only seen one, I quite like them. You know, I wouldn't say they're like overly loud as well. So, I think they would be good units at Devon, but you know. Oh bugger, I need to set my points over Newton East, don't I? Right. I don't want to go up Paynton. I want to continue down South Devon, Main Line, or Devon Banks, whatever. Oh. Where's my speedo? There it is. I've been doing about 67, 68. That's bad if I don't know where the speedo is. That one there. That is true, trains, yeah. I think they're well known for being like quite heavy units. I think they'd be fine for, you know, some of the core routes. And you know, they've got good standard class, good first class. think the only issue might be capacity. But other than that, I don't see much of an issue with them. And to be fair, considering they're quite, well, I say that they're hardly louder than. Personally, I say wouldn't they're not much louder than a Voyager. The only thing I can think of is noise complaints, but I think they're a bit loud, a bit quieter than the Voyager, so yeah. And no one complains about the Voyagers, apart from their overcrowding. Going up to York was torture. Because I got to sit next to a wall from Exeter to Leeds. Painful. In fact, I ended up getting so claustrophobic just being sat next to a wall. Yeah, had to have a breather at Chesterfield. And Max is back. Now, to be honest, it's not great anymore, is it? It gets very, very busy here. It's not great for spotting. That's partly why for the short of the 37s, in fact this exact run that we're doing, that's why you would have seen the shot from Dainton. Because I so did not want to go spotting at the station. Because but yeah, I also partly went to Dayton because Thrash. But yeah, I'll be honest. Much like Max, yeah, don't like really go Newton anymore. Pretty much, I'll only go Newton if I have to. If I can go Dainton, I'll probably go Dayton. But hey, fair enough, Max. Yeah, it's quite right. Trains, yeah. The engines don't sound half bad. But yeah, it seems like CAF the exact same issue as Hitachi. Their trains like to crack. Anyways, full send up the bank. Where is Dainton? Ah, here it is. Ah, looks like Train Sims put a bit more vegetation than to contend with. I think I stood about here. Or maybe a little bit lower. I think it was about here, wasn't it? Like a little pulling bit. Here, actually. Just here. Thanks, Train Sim. Because you spawned a bush in my way. No worries. No trains. Hitachi can't get a lot right, to be fair. Then again, I think the 385's cracked as well, so... Yeah, good to hear Hitachi seem to have got something right. Although, it might be one of the only things I have. Then again, the IET pulling away sound on diesel sounds quite good. Especially when they like drag notch 1 and then into notch 2 and the turbocharger kicks in. That's a good sound. To be fair, just the engines and like overall and the IET sound quite good. The engines is where the good ends. Lighting, not great. Reliability, you having a laugh. You know, the diesel engines, when they work, sound quite good. That's kind of it. And the cab seats are quite comfy, I think. So I think I've sat in one of the cabs in the driver's seat. I should know that. Yeah, it's so quiet in the cab though, with an IET. Yeah, I've been chatting with a few drivers and they say half the time it's just kind of like, engines please be on, please be working. Oh great, Elenia have been replacing their nose cones as well. Fantastic. Didn't expect much else. GWR are doing the exact same thing. Website accidentally gained time. We're now running early like hell. Yeah, only 20 minutes early. Right. Yeah, they have Sam. Not Sam, trains. Alright. Yeah, trains, they have had to replace the nose cones on a few of them. Yeah. So a few of them look a slightly different shade of green. Fair enough, trains. White sponge. That's a new one. I've never heard it called white sponge before. Well. Oh, splodge. Yeah, that makes more sense. Echo 98 cleared for the down through. Yippee. Yeah, good old Top Ness. One thing I don't like about Top Ness, though, I've mentioned it before, is just how run down most of the buildings look. All surrounding the station as well. Doesn't give you the best view of Top Ness. To be fair, at least it's not Tivia or Exeter, aka the first thing you see when you enter Devon by rail. At least none of that looks dreadful. That's true, trains, yeah. Those HSTs don't have a lot of time left. We literally have, I think, the December timetable change, and they're out of there. To be fair, I can probably see them going into 26. So you've just sent half the 175s to refurb. Yep. All the ones that aren't yet in Lara are now going for refurb before they come to GWR. Thank God. Hopefully the cleaners will like the refurb. Because I know when they came over to GWR, all of our heavy cleaners just looked at them and were like, "You're asking us to do what?" They're the old 158 carpets. Pain. Hey ho. Hopefully this refurb's slightly better. But then again, yeah, they've kind of, I think the 175s have, kind of cemented their place. And the railway is not great. So, sometimes you can't beautify trash. To be fair, I do kind of want to see the 175s in service, just so I can see how bad they are. Yep, that's right, trains, yeah. Good old buses departing from here. And the main walking route to the SDR. Thing is, you walk into the SDR, a little bit dodgy. There's literally no lighting to the SDR, so yeah. This way, when you finished a Winter Gala, it's not a nice walk back. when it's slightly slippery because it's icy. There's no lighting, so you're just relying on a phone torch. And half the time, well, when I did the winter diesel gala, was it diesel or was it steam? Oh, it was steam, wasn't it? Because it was the start of the year. Yeah. Steam gala. My phone was like 15%. So I kind of hope it didn't die. And then nearly missed an IET back. Okay, how is my 37.6 and my 37.5 struggling up here? Bruh. How? But yeah. Was going to be doing Nunney Castle on this run. Well, not to Plymouth, but obviously to Kingsborough, as mentioned earlier. He would have been doing that had Train Sim not just said no to 3 different scenarios I made. It just crashed every single time. So instead, no AI, just the consist. It's now just 37s. Well, Banks just got a little bit sharper again. We're 1 in 50. We only have 9 coaches behind. Come on. Actually, that's a good screenshot, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe not from this angle because you don't get the sunlight hitting the consist. To be fair, I doubt it trains. And it would look cool, but I don't reckon it will. Yeah, I know in terms of sort of vaguely on the topic of special liveries, I know GWR aren't doing any for HSTs this time around. Well, last I was told. I think so, trains. Hang on a minute. Let me get a photo of it. Oh, was that in... That's Railway 200 livery. It's in reference to Stockington and Darlington, I think. Or, yeah, Stockton and Darlington. I'm turning off the TSD while I'm trying to find this. But to be fair, trains, personally I don't mind it. You know, personally it doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Go so ugly. Yes. Yeah, I suppose orange against red. Yeah, in a way, I think it breaks the red up a little bit. Yeah, personally, I don't mind it. Yeah, it turns out it's a good point. Yeah, it'd probably look a little bit different in person to camera. But from the photos, doesn't look too bad. Looks like someone threw up on the side. That's some nice imagery. Yeah, it does not sound great. In fact, how am I running for time now? Against the schedule. I think we're just about to go over race actually. That should be H here. Yes. H Merchant crossover 12:40. 12:18. So running quite early. 22 early, I'll take that. Over good old age. So that's where we're driving to today, trains. I might just take this to Plymouth today. I know it's a bit boring taking it to Plymouth all the time, but I do have a few things to sort out for tomorrow. So, yeah. Got papers to do. Yeah. Can't wait to be back on the editing grind. Probably later on this week. I'll probably try to get all the videos that are queued released before the end of this week. Once again, the videos that are pending are the two on the left. The Nunney Castle one and the Cardiff one. So it'd be Cardiff first and then Nunney. Oh, / private charter. So, yeah. The two on the, not left, the two on the right, obviously already released. So yeah. Only the two on the left to go now. Cardiff and then the private charter. So that'd be fun to edit. Interpass IRL, what, a day? Talking trains or? Talking day or time? So we're talking day, a day. So it went. So this one we're doing in particular came down on Friday, and then returned on Saturday morning. Of which, yeah, Saturday was a fun day for these 37s. Totally didn't, lead to the failure of, I think, both at one point. Contrain some not here. Don't crash. It never crashes here. If it actually crashes, I'm gonna be annoyed. Wow. And I've now got railwork64.exe is not responding. There we go. You know what? Potentially wise move. Approaching Ivy Bridge. There's some really good scenic views around Ivy Bridge. Yeah, good old 0 to 60s. Gives you 0.seconds. And 60 to 0. 0 to 60. No. 0 to 59.9. Right, Ivy Bridge, what's the time looking like now? Oh. Cool. 21 early. Meh, fine. You're casually, bored in 37 while driving. Casually the buttons there. Yeah, probably trains. Although, since we're not going into Cornwall tonight, they have all the time in the world to get to any spot they want in Cornwall. They have some spotters, we're in Ivy Bridge. Wanted to go see it in Plymouth. Yeah, good luck, I'm not stopping. I'm going 8 over the limit. Who cares? No one's dead yet, so... No one's dead, there's no, super over excessive G-force. It's all manageable G-force, it's fine. Through Ivy Bridge, Max. We're now coming up to Hamerden. You're not going to cut back to 60. Drop in 9 mile per hour. To be fair, I'm just going to let it roll down Hamerden. Fuel economy. Even though these are realistically getting fueled in Penzance for a long rock. Right, At the summit of Hamilton. I'm going to race down the bank towards TV Junction and then Lara and Plymouth. That clag is just monstrous. To be fair, Flopsy's performing alright at the moment. Hopefully isn't going to blow up for Plymouth. The thing is, I was originally told that 37521 was declared a failure in Penzance. Hence why I could even see the run in the first place, going back up towards Shrewsbury. Yeah, was quite lucky to even see the Sunday run, no, Saturday run. So I so happened to wake up at the time it was due through. Oh well. Thank you 37521 for failing. But to be honest, I don't think it was 5-1 that failed. I think it was Flopsy just having a seizure. And to be fair, it didn't do too well. Yeah, Bridgewater and all that. These brakes aren't doing a whole lot, are they? Ah, there we go. Not again. Okay, good. Come on, game, just behave yourself for like a few more minutes. Where's the utterly useless look at this. AWS here. More board there. Slightly useless, isn't it? The thing is, my AWS doesn't start sounding until here. So if you're like here, that's already basically in the blind spot of the nose, so okay. Just going to flick the throttle from off to on, basically so I can just slam on power in a minute. Yes, Tavistock Junction. Just the land of the Tampers. It's more, yeah, the land of the Tampers than Newton is. That's saying a lot, because there's usually a Tamper in Newton. I think there's one at the, well, one there at the moment though. God. On the bar. Right, cheerio trains. Hope to see you in the next stream or video. Have a good rest of your evening. As we now go past Lara DGL. Go down goes loop. But yeah, passing the sort of protection signal for. That's not a protection signal, is it? I don't know. No. It's 9:30. But yeah, nearly in Plymouth, which is where we'll ditch the run this evening. And then we'll probably pick it up Friday, probably. And cover some more miles. Probably down the Cornish Main. Slowing off power because I realised I was about to speed through that 60. Only about like 3 miles per hour, but you know. Right, because that aspect was a single yellow, I now need to expect a danger. Platform 8. I can do that. It's been very harsh crossing over, but you know. And over to 8. I know my signal's clear, but at this point the driver wouldn't know, so we'll take it as if I don't know. Where's the P-Way team? Because I think we need to cut that tree back a little bit. So onto the mains and it's affecting my visibility. And it's even glitching through the set. Where's P-Way? Mark 1 and Mark 2s have the same run sounds. Fantastic. Cag T minus 2 seconds. Indeed, Sam, yeah. Go with 37 Hellfire. I would give it some more Hellfire if the set of points here weren't so violent. Look at that. Proper violent points these are. There's another crossover to do yet as well. Is in reality, yeah, it is in reality, Sam, yeah. And it is roughly about that sharp as well. Somehow 25. There's another sharp one as well to take us over into A. Yeah, it's 25 from just a little bit after that aspect back there. We're into the platforms now. Alright, I know where I'm stopping here. Right. Securing the loco. For the sake of securing it properly, just flick the change end down. And there we go. All secured. Platform 8 road. Brake is in neutral. Move, loco brakes fully dumped. You know what, let's go overkill. Parking brake as well. And now if this thing's going anywhere, I'm surprised. Because you've now got basically all the coaches of the brakes basically in emergency. 667 has loco brake and parking brake dumped. This thing ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm not going to release the doors here because in reality this isn't a public charter, it's only a private charter, so no need to release the doors. But not bad. The loco certainly behaved itself more than you know, behaved itself more than it did when it blew up on Saturday. If you want to see a good video of when it blew up, I think Wales Rail uploaded a video of it, the Bridgewater. There he sort of showcases the coolant leaking out of it. Basically, not great. Not a great day for Jeremy Hosking. Yeah. Arrives with an unbooked stop. And yeah, 667 just looks buggered. Fire alarm sounding, coolant leaking out of multiple places. You know, what seems like what might be smoke out the exhausts. Not great. Anyways, 51 miles today. Not bad. Yeah. 51 miles. Taken us just over an hour. Yeah, about an hour and a half. Sounds about right. Next stream, stream 272. I reckon we will take this into Cornwall. Yeah, probably take it down to Penzance. Of which we're going to have to switch head codes. How many times en route? So on 1 Zulu 30, we'll maintain 1 Zulu 30 to St. Germans, in which we then switch to 5 Zulu 31 to Lostwithiel. Then we switch to 1 Zulu 31 to Penzance. Then we could take it on to depot. I'm not going to. Yeah. So basically, we'll be running on 3 head codes in the next stream, finishing Zulu 30, and then 5 Zulu 31, 1 Zulu 31. Makes perfect sense. Don't see why it couldn't have just been Zulu 30 all the way, but okay. I don't get the random empty, because in reality it wasn't, but whatever. But yeah, next stream we'll take this into Cornwall a bit further. Well, either that or we're going trucking. Because as I said, I've got that working now, so, well. ETS was always working, but obviously my mic had that difference. I'll tell you what it is. The software for the mic, it doesn't do it for Train Sim, which what threw me right off. But in Logitech G Hub, it's set a different profile for Eurotruck and a set of Corsa and all that. And so nothing was set the same. It is now set the same across, so hopefully, and on call it was the case, all the mic issues should be sorted. We'll probably give that a rundown next stream. But yeah. Not a bad run today though. Flopsy behaving as it should be. Once we get to Penzance, I might intentionally fail it. Because, you know, that would be funny. But yeah. Into the good old outro. Let's see if I can do this in one take. There is a link to 3 Discord servers in the description down below. My new and old one, and also Oscar's server. Feel free to join any of the 3. However, please note, need to be 13 or above to join as per Discord terms of service. Feel free to like and subscribe as well. Feel free to like is to tell me that you like what we do here, and subscribe so you never miss another stream or video. In fact, no, I'm not going to set a goal now until May, because I've set 2, and we've smashed both of them. I set 350 originally, then I set 400. In fact, I should say thank you all very much for the support recently. It has been bloody wild. I think, let me have a look, because I think it was, what was it, Thursday last week, the channel was on 192. Look. Yeah, 392 last Thursday. Mental, honestly. So now I'm 411. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. And also obviously been watching the videos as well. It's much appreciated. Yes, thank you very much, Sam. Have a good rest of your evening. Yeah, on that note, nothing else to say. So, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope to see you all in the next stream or video. Take care all. Hope to see you there. Cheerio.